Hey, what's happening? We are here back. I know we just tried this, but my apologies. Seems like every once in a while I get some hiccups. Uh, well, who knows? We're live somewhere. You know what
Yeah.
we'll do? I'm going to hit play and I'm going to record it too. So if it messes up, I can just repost it. So what's up, Hunter, man? Hey, so I'm here with Hunter Rees. Wrestled his whole youth life all the way up through high school. Now you went off to college for a brief stint, right? Or did you have you
No,
got
I,
yet, or
I
is
was
that something you're looking at?
I was going to. I talked to a couple schools, but then I was supposed to wrestle. I committed to North Idaho, and then I was just kind of like, I don't know if this is for me. I'd rather sit around and coach, help out.
Hey, we're live on Facebook. I just see it. We did it right.
There we go.
All right. Hey, every once in a while I get something right. This is awesome. I can share it around and we'll have. But I'm here with the great Hunter Rees. Uh, Family has been in wrestling for a long time. I know he's got siblings that wrestle. You guys know his sister, Kaylee. I think I always mess that up.
Okay, there we
I
go.
always put an E at the end of your name. I always do that too. That's terrible.
It's
Sorry,
all
I
good.
apologize. I'm sure I'm not the only one, right?
No, whole life.
But hey, so man, first things first. What do you think of that tournament this past week?
Knockout. It was crazy. I mean, finals matches are always. I mean, everybody's going to college, so it's watching college matchups. Then you had Cass with the freshman, Jake Grabson with number 5, number 4 Corday
Yeah,
going the ultimate tiebreaker.
how
And
cool was? I mean, how that match was just incredible, wasn't it?
it was crazy. And then you still have Hines in the semis knocking out McCrary from Woodland. It was just things happening everywhere that you didn't think you'd see.
Oh yeah, man, him wiggling out the back
Yeah.
with like 1 second left. Yeah, it was insane. Now, what about on the girls' side? I know you had your sister there. She ended up. How long has it been since you were able to see her wrestle at a big tournament like that?
Um. See, a lot of things have happened where I haven't been able to. I was supposed to watch her at Super 32, GFC. Supposed to go to nationals in Colorado with her last year, and it got canceled. So it was good to watch her win, obviously. But
Yeah, I'm sure she was happy. I'm sure she was happy having you there, right?
yeah, so I haven't watched her wrestle since Girls State because I moved last year.
So she had to win it. She was motivated, right? She's like, I got Hunter here.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that's what made her want to win a little more.
That's okay, right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, so talk about your career. So you came up initially wrestling in Georgia, right? When did you
Yes,
start
sir.
wrestling?
Why did I start wrestling?
No, when?
Or when? I started wrestling like a little bit in 5th grade, but nothing much. I was more of a baseball kid to middle school. And then I wrestled middle school 6th through 8th grade. And I was like, I was wrestling 70 pounds, weighing 55, 50 pounds. In
Oh, wow.
8th grade, I wrestled 65, but my sister came up and she was weighing about 65. So we were around the same weight. And I was like, okay. So I bumped to 82, weighing 65 pounds, so she could wrestle varsity at 70. And I mean, it was still a good season. I just was tiny. It was like my freshman year, I was 90 pounds, wrestling 106. So,
Yeah. So you'd kind of make adjustments just so she could wrestle too.
yeah. I
And
mean,
obviously working, she's doing big things, right?
yeah, it's crazy. When she started when she was little, never thought she'd be where she's at right now. Never
Yeah.
even knew it got that big at the time.
Well, good for you and your family. And obviously, uh, your mom is like a huge voice in women's wrestling. You see her all the time in the rooms, in the groups. She's always promoting. So, uh,
Yeah, it's great.
yeah, good for
Always
her.
being a part of it.
Yeah, she's just awesome to always see her moving and grooving. But man, so what do you think your life would be without wrestling?
I don't even know because I didn't take wrestling seriously until my freshman year. Like, I didn't even start until halfway through the season. One of the kids, because I was new, I moved from Colorado to Georgia. So I was miserable, wanted nothing to do with anybody. And, but then one kid, he was like, dude, just come wrestle. And that's when I like fell in love with it. And I'd say that whole off season I was working, and it's like the mental side of wrestling. It helps you with life. Like if you can, I don't even know how to explain the whole sport. It's just no. There's no better feeling than getting your hand raised. If you enjoy practice, you're crazy, or you're in a soft room. Like, but then it all works out whenever you're the guy getting your hand raised in the end.
Yeah, and you had obviously 3 great runs. I mean, a lot of kids, even though you lost in the blood round those 3 years, I mean, a lot of kids would have loved to even get that far, right? Or just
Yeah, that's what I have to think about.
right? Um,
Yeah,
but a really cool story, right? You have about states in Georgia where uh, you were
sophomore
telling
year.
me about the first girl to ever place or something at states.
Yes, that match. I I was nervous as it was because I obviously don't have anything against girls wrestling. I just hate wrestling girls. I know how their body would work. Like
Right.
when their shoulders are supposed to be on the mat, their hips are going the other way. They're still like I don't know. Because I got her on her back. I had her in a head and arm, and I was looking, trying to get it down. This was in the first minute, and I was looking at her hips. We're just keeping her over, and there's nothing I could have done. There was 2 seconds left in the second period. I was ahead by a little bit, got a little high on legs, got stacked, and that was that.
And that was it, huh? Now she was the first ever girl to place in Georgia States, right?
Yes, sir.
But now the great story is you've become her drill partner. You guys have become close friends, right? You have
Yeah,
always
that's like another family to us now.
your sister and her. I'm guessing work with each other.
Whenever they're around, yeah, because she has college, and then my sister's always who knows where. So
Okay. Uh, but that's pretty cool because you know how many kids would have been like, you know what, F dad, I'm so mad, whatever. But
yeah,
you
she
turned
had
around and your character obviously shined through and you rooted her on the rest of the way.
yeah, third day, which was placing day. I still had my shoes because I was going to warm up with our kids. And then I looked over and she was sitting there. She had nobody to warm up with. So I ran over to her. I mean, it still kind of stabbed me in the heart a little bit, but that was just because of the losing in the blood round, not losing to a girl. Like as much crap as people give me for it, that goes through my head. I don't make much of it.
So you went back and you became the drill partner for her to help her now go on and place.
Yeah, and I felt pretty good because she beat a kid that beat me the weekend prior. And I was just telling her what was going to happen. He tried to do it, and I was like, listen to me.
So now, yeah, and through all that, here we are, all like full circle, and you're looking to get into coaching, right?
Yes, sir.
Hopefully at your alma mater.
Yeah, I'm hoping something happens soon. I want to be a part of the sport. I hate COVID. Hate it.
I
Ruining.
don't think anybody's over here going, we love it, right? So
Absolutely not. If
I've
there
been
is, they're a little
on,
crazy.
yeah, well, I'm sure Freedom will be happy to have you on the mats working with their kids and helping out. But you know, you had a lot of setbacks, injuries, overcoming adversities, and things like that. When you're talking to younger athletes now that are coming up, obviously this sport hits you with adversities. I mean, it's just what's going to happen. You're not going to win right away. You're
No.
going to be in a lot of pain all the time. Things are always going to hurt. Um, and I mean, not too many people go undefeated, right?
Oh no. Like
So,
you see the
what
big name guys losing.
Yeah, what when you're coaching and when you're talking to these young kids now coming up, and when you go back into coaching, how are you going to prepare these kids and talk to them about understanding these ups and downs and what you got to go through to get to where you want to be?
Well, it's like with my buddy. He's a freshman at Woodland. Wrestles 106. His name's Hayden. And I was watching him wrestle at the knockout, and he was like me. He kills himself in his head. Like he wants to wrestle for nothing. Like I mean, I understand it. I was the same way. He wants to wrestle for his coaches rather than himself. Like he's scared to disappoint. And I'm like, you're not going to disappoint if you just wrestle how you want to wrestle. Wrestle and do what you need to do. So it's really, I'm trying to stress to him to have fun. There's no point in doing something that you don't enjoy. And then take care of your body because he's cutting weight for the first time. He was like me, a little guy wrestling the smallest weights possible. So I relate to him a lot. That's a perfect person to me compare myself to. He reminds me of myself. But that's what killed me in the last 3 years of high school. Like when I got to the blood round my junior year, it was more of, I'm not gonna win this match. It's gonna be what happened last year. Got to my senior year, same mindset. And then I had the number 1 seed. He got upset, the kid from Haggerty, Jason Shaw. And I was going in winning the 3rd period, and I'm not a top wrestler. So as we can see by my sophomore year. So it was really just, if you don't go in thinking that you're the baddest dude on the mat, you're not going to win. It's like you have Caleb Henson's, you have Cole Hunts from Cass, and then Hines, all these different kids. They walk out with the attitude of no one's going to beat me. That's what you need in the sport.
Yeah, and wouldn't you say that for the most part, coaches just want you to give it 100%? I mean, whether you win or lose, if you lose and they didn't see the effort that they know you can give, that's what angers them, right? It's not that it's not the fact that you lost, it's the fact how you lost, right?
Yeah, and that's what I talk to my dad about, my mom about a lot, is when I'm a coach, if I have this kid if he's good, but he doesn't show up, he like doesn't do his schoolwork and all that, half-asses practice, but then you have the kid behind him that's always coming, doing everything he needs to do, that's who I'm going to start. Like, I'd rather have the kid on the mat getting the mat time, getting him to be good, that actually cares, rather than the kid that's just naturally good and showing up when he wants to, thinking he's that guy.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, and I think in everything, like sport, or I was in sales. I've been in sales my whole life, and I was a sales manager. But it seems like most of the top athletes or most of the top employees, you don't really have to manage those guys too hard. They typically are the ones that are there before you are, leave after you do, put the work in. But you do have those ego guys, right? Where they think that because I'm this good, or because I make this kind of money for them, because I do this, I got autonomy to do whatever I want. And that's not the case, right?
No, it's like, I mean, I was wrestling in a good part of Georgia. I was in 5A, and then everything's so close here. You only have 3 divisions, so you see all the kids like going to CFWA and all that. You see the kids that are good for a reason. Like, you don't get good at wrestling just come to practice. If you are, I want to know what you did at practice to make it happen, because you got to
got to
do a
get
lot
mat
of work
time,
on your.
right?
Yeah,
You got to get mat time, right?
yeah, all the time.
So what are you kind of living like vicariously through Kaylee now? Like you're like, come on, go on, go.
Yeah, me and her, we get into it a lot, but not in like a getting after it with each other way. It's like, I know she can be up here if she just had that person in the room with her. Like, I went to practice with her yesterday, and I cannot move my body. Like, I'm hurting. But
How much do you work on her mindset?
uh, quite often, like, she's here and there. She's like how I was. And that's really what I need to fix with her, because I firmly believe if she can fix her head, start learning to put little things together, that she can be one of those top girls in the country.
Yeah, no question. I mean, she has the talent, right?
Oh, for sure.
So we've seen her compete against some top girls in the nation and do really well. So it'd be nice to see what she does next.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to now when you go back to coaching? Will you be with the girls and the boys? So will you have an opportunity to coach her a little bit?
Yeah, I'm hoping I hope Coach Dave sees this and puts me in the corner for her at state. So, but
Maybe you can fight Coach Dave for it.
no, that happened yesterday too. Dude thinks he's the same weight as me and will split with me a couple times.
Those 2 boys are big, huh?
Oh yeah, I think I'll catch a break, and then Coach Michael come blast double me into another room.
How amazing is it that what that program has become? I mean, you've seen it grow over the years
I
from
mean,
to what it is now.
yeah, it was a big change coming from Georgia, just the way things are ran. Like, but I liked it. It was as soon as I got there, they wanted us to come in the room, wanted us to meet them and all that. But they're on a good schedule. They have morning lifts, and then at the school, it allows a first period wrestling class. And then in the preseason, they wanted us to run cross country. Then we had club practice. So it was like, that's what I needed. I needed something on a schedule. And I think I had the best season I did all of high school. So
Well, you know,
it was just,
what makes the Bush brothers, Lindsey Dahl, that whole crew, what do you think makes them so great?
they all want to see you. Like, they understand the mindset that everyone's in. Especially last year, we graduated, I think, 14, 15 seniors. They knew that it was almost our whole lineup's last go around. So they were doing everything they could for us. And like, after the knockout, I already talked to you about it. I got my butt handled. And then I was just kind of out of it. Coach Mike calls me in the next day. He's like, "We're not going to practice. Just come here. I want to talk to you about something." Hands me a bunch of wrestling mindset papers. I was like, "Dude, what is this?" And then next weekend, I placed third at Cradle Cancer, and I lost in the semis. I got fat man rolled at 120 pounds, winning going in the third period. And I was hoping I could have wrestled Georgie in the finals, because he didn't make it to state. That was one of the toughest kids I wrestled all year. Hands down, him and Cueto.
And I think I talked to a couple of your boys that are out there in college. Did you see that one?
I did not, actually.
They're in, well, they were together at one college now, but their coach left because that program closed down. So they transferred over to another college, and they were all on it. They were making fun of each other. It was a good time.
Oh, I might have to go back. I don't normally miss them, so.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, that Southern Belle, man, that knockout. Yeah. So you experienced it, and it was tough. But yeah, so you mentioned wrestling mindset pages. I think I've seen them before. That the wrestling mindset guy is Mike Moore.
Yeah.
I remember we were at the GFC, and Mike Moore had a table set up there, and my son had a tough time, and I introduced him to Mike, and Mike's like, "You sit down." And he went through the mindset paper with him, and it really helped him right there. I need to reach out, and I need to get Daniel back on that, and get those papers, because he had it on his desk, and when his mom cleaned his room, he threw the papers away.
Oh. No, as dumb as people would think little stuff like that is, it helps so much just being able to write down how you actually feel about the sport, why you're doing the sport, and just why you have the drive to do what you're doing. It helped me a lot more than I thought it would. When Coach Mike handed me that paper, I thought it was the dumbest thing I've seen in my 7 years wrestling. So,
but yeah, but little things that were on there. I think there was one that said, like, do you lift 5 days a week?
yeah.
And you put no, and he's like, okay, well, that guy that just beat you probably lifts 5 days a week. So I think it's all like, well, how can you be mad right now if you're telling yourself here that you're not there yet, right?
Yeah. It's wrestling's a lot of, I was talking to a kid at practice yesterday. Wrestling's like a puzzle. Like, a lot of little pieces come together to make the big picture, which would be winning the state title, winning a national championship, placing at state, stuff like that. And that's just how I saw it.
Do you think that you'll wrestle competitively again, or do you think you're just going to coach from here on out?
I'm hoping. I mean, I have the itch to come back, but I have a lot of stuff that is going to put it on pause for a little bit right now. But I'm still going to be in the room working. I'm sure I'll come back eventually. Give it a year or two.
Now, do you think you'd like to wrestle in college, or are you talking about maybe just going out on the world stage and just trying to compete there?
I'm sure college. I might compete in a couple opens this coming summer, April, May, freestyle. Done with
Nice.
freestyle.
Awesome. Well, yeah, you're probably doing a lot of freestyle with Kaylee, right? Getting her prepared for
Yeah.
tournaments. Lindsay does a great job over there, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's great for the girls program. Knows how to. I mean, she's a girls coach for a girls program in high school, so she knows how to connect with them. And with her, she was a girls wrestler in college on a guys team, so she sees both sides of it.
Yeah, I saw her last weekend, and we were talking for a little bit, and I don't get to talk to her often because usually at events you can see she's focused and she's in the corner and she's doing her thing. So it was good to catch her ear for a few minutes and kind of get her feelings and talk to her. And I had just seen her girls do really well at the Southern Belle, so we talked a little bit about that. Who was there? She had a bunch of girls there. Oh, was your sister there? Did she go to
Southern Belle.
No, did she go to CFWA Saturday?
Oh no, she couldn't. But
Yeah, no, because I
yeah,
saw there was a bunch of the Sawa girls and everybody in there, but that was cool. So so you're home now, going to get into coaching. Um, and mindset's big for you. You talk about getting it into the room and doing things like that. Really, what's the next step for you moving forward?
hoping to just help the kids that don't have a lot of time put into them, because I understand what it's like having the rooms with 2 coaches with 30, 40 kids in there, not getting the individual time that they need. So I'm just going to go around and see the kids. I mean, that's what Coach Mike and Coach Dave and Coach Lindsay, everybody we have in there, do a really good job at, is trying to get that attention to everybody. But obviously it can't happen all the time like it should. So I'm going to try and do what I can for that.
So you'll be probably one of the hands-on drill partners getting into the
Yeah,
dirt.
that's what I'm hoping.
All right, well, let's do this. Greco or freestyle?
Freestyle, hands down.
All right. Cobbler or pie?
Pie.
High C or ankle pick?
I see.
Let's say fruit punch or lemonade?
Lemonade.
Double or single?
Single.
PB&J or grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese.
The girl before you, she said, I like my grilled cheese with Swiss cheese and apples. She must like the sweet and savory thing. She said.
Oh, that sounds awful.
She likes it. You go Whopper or Big Mac?
Don't eat either, but if I had to, I'd go with the Big Mac.
Arm throw or arm drag?
Arm drag. One of the most satisfying things to hit.
Suplex or head and arm?
Suplex.
Gummy bears or Sour Patch?
Gummy bears. I have some right over there.
Your favorite? Half or cradle?
Half. Simple.
Simple.
Keep with the basics. Which cradle's still basic, but that's like the first move you learn is the half.
Awesome. Well, hey man, I'm so happy that I was able to get you back on here and we were able to talk a little bit.
Yeah, that's good.
I hope it went well.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to see what you do with the next stage of your life and get into coaching and maybe competitive again and possibly taking the next step into college, getting your education and doing that, but as well being able to get on the mat and compete again. I mean, good luck to you. Your family has always been very welcoming to me with my show, and I've seen your mom at all sorts of events. I just saw her this weekend.
Sure.
I got to meet your dad. I think he was sitting with you for the first time.
Yeah.
Not sitting with you for the first time, but I got to meet him for the first time.
Yeah.
And then, I saw your mom when I went to get I was doing something, and she was there talking to Ken Shirto.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna, but yeah, I mean, just thank you to your family. Good luck to Kaylee. I hope she continues to just kick life's ass, and I'm glad
me too.
and you're probably real happy to be home and get to work with her.
Yes,
Is
sir.
is she beating you up now?
After I start huffing and puffing, because I'm about out of shape as I've ever been. So
You still won't admit that she can take you?
she gets me. She blast doubled me through the dang wall yesterday.
That's awesome. Oh, you must be very proud of her. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's great talking to you, and good luck the rest of the year.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You have a great night.
You too.